Hello, my name is Paulina Talisi Prasitomorang. I'm a student from Diponegoro University. I will present you about Food Research International Journal with the title Entomophagy, Nutritional, Ecological, Safety, and Legislation Aspects. Hope you enjoy! Do you know 825 million people are malnourished mainly in China and India? Even though the calories are sufficient, the main nutritional need in food are less. Mostly in rural area, vegetables have relative low levels of nutrition and protein. In Kenya, children under 5 are stunted and wasting. So, insect can be alternative nutrient to help overcome malnutrition in all corners of the world. Some examples of insects that are often used are grasshoppers, white ants, and silkworms. The third is ecological. Insects have a wide distribution, short reproductive cycles, and high reproductive speed. Therefore, insects can become alternative nutrients by utilizing insect network engineering as a food source that can help the economy reduce hunger and malnutrition. Raising insects for food raises questions about feeding safety insects. Although insects are collected from the wild and mostly culture is always consuming. That's meaning it's very important to pay attention and ensure about product safety. We have 3 main topics. The first, microbial contamination, toxicological hazard, and allergenicity. The last about legislation. Recently, the consumption of insects in Europe has increased, which of course the level of security and regulation must be tighter. And several food safety agencies have made legal consideration and regulation to make insect consumption safe. The first one content is protein. Insect contain essential amino acid, lysine, methionine, and tryptophan. Many insect species contain large amount of protein. Insects that are consumed in the Western world, such as crickets and the bamboo caterpillars, that are contain the same amount of protein as a meat products conventional. But if you know, in the method of the cooking food also affect the nutritional composition in insect. Insects that have this 4 chemical composition, such as grasshoppers, beetles, cricket, caterpillars, etc. But however, all of these can be consumed in the recommended amounts. Okay, next I will explain fat in insect. Insects have a saturated or unsaturated fatty acid ratio below 40%. There are several types of insects that have high fat content, such as larvae, caterpillars, beetles, and maggots, which are commonly used as vegetable oil. The preferred fatty acid composition, around 60 and 70%, is a grasshoppers and a white ant. The third content insect contain 1 to 7% chitin. Insects have immunity that can inhibit the growth of pathogenic microorganisms and the growth of bacteria. And chitin contains nitrogen, which can affect the amount of protein. The next content is micronutrients. Many types of insects have different micronutrients. Various insects contain 35.5 mg of iron, 22.6 mg of phosphorus, 7.54 mg of magnesium, and 61.3 mg of calcium. Insects that are rich in micronutrients such as caterpillars, termites, grasshoppers, beetles, and crickets. Insects also have antinutrients such as hydrocyanate, phytates, oxalate, and tannins. If you overconsume anti-nutrients, it will cause reduced fertility and stunted growth period. The last one is product. The product produced are mostly food products like snack, breakfast food, and confectionery. In some countries, the insect is a product and a consumer formulation. Therefore, it is necessary to have laws and regulation in food formulation. Here is a table of chemical composition if we eat insect. We can see that there are protein, fat, carbohydrate, etc. And the second table, it is about a variation of nutritional. Ecological have several ways to handling. The first is pet as delicacy, feed conversion factor, land and water use, greenhouse and gas emission, and the last is energy use. This is 3 aspects of food safety. The first is microbiological contamination. Complex microbial communities such as bacteria, virus, fungi, protozoa, and archaea include a symbiotic spectrum of mutualistic and pathogenic contaminants in insect and the other living organism. And the second is toxicological hazard. Content in harmful insects such as vegetable and other animals, including natural poison. So, exciting compound naturally in insect feed that is synthesized by insect, which synthesize compounds that are toxic to human or insect is phanerotoxic. And the second, which is absorbed by environment, is cryptotoxic. The main allergen structure in insect include glycoprotein. Allergen from insecticide like phospholipase, hyaluronidase, which can cause symptoms or effect of fungal contamination on insect. There are 3 food safety regulations in Europe as follows. 1. Principle of General Food Law about food shall not be placed on the market in unsafe. And 2. Food Hygiene Regulation about applies to all food business operator and keep insect and place them on the market. 3. Novel Foods Regulation about safety assessment made by either the member state food assessment body. So the conclusion is the next important step is how to be sure food derived from insect is safe and legal placed on the market. And next you can think about safety of edible insect. And when new processing technology emerge, there will be better opportunities for extracting quality fermented suitable nutrition from insect from new food product formulation. And the last, you must have critical control points are required during processing and future testing from ensure there is no cross-contamination that endangers safety. Thank you for watching and listening. That's all from my presentation. Goodbye!